much for popping through today. Well, nobody's popped through today. I don't know why I say it. It's easy to just start off with that out of excitement. But my name is Andrew Douglas Moon. I appreciate y'all taking the time to stop through, should you do so, and as you do. I am a fragrance YouTuber. If you're new here and you end up watching this back later, this channel has gone all over the place, done different things, but for the most part, I am taking it back to the original and keeping it more to the core of what I love. And what I love is perfumery. And I welcome every single person to this chat to hang out, ask questions, tell me what you guys are wearing today, what's some of your favorite fragrances, and anything else you would like to talk about when I do these streams. I try to do them weekly, multiple times a week if I have the opportunity to do so, but it really does, in fact, ultimately depend on the circumstances. I always answer every single question that comes through the best that I possibly can, and I just appreciate you guys so very much anytime you come through and have a question to ask. So, more than welcome, any single person. Thank you very much, John. Super happy to see you, my friend. I appreciate every time you get the chance to come through. It always means a lot to me. And thank you. So give me just a second, you guys. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to come in. Hold on real fast. Sorry, you guys. I had to answer my wife really quickly. She just sent me a message. But again, thank you guys for coming through. While I have the opportunity to hang out, talk about fragrances, I'm going to be doing this. Normally going forward, I'm going to continue posting fragrance reviews every Monday, probably trying to still figure out exactly what time of day or night I want to do that, but I filmed a lot that I've got coming you guys' way. I still have so many more to actually do reviews for. I'm not a top 10 channel. If you're new here, I always like to do one at a time just to get the opportunity to really break it down and explain. And the ones that I did this morning, I was very excited to talk about, because if everybody is new here, again, I'm about to say Andrew Terrence Hughes, Aaron Terrence Hughes, who is my biggest inspiration to even start doing my own channel of reviews. I finally got some of his fragrances, and I was very excited to get the chance to talk about them. So that's what I reviewed a couple of those this morning, along with a few other things, including the fragrance that I'm wearing today, which is one of my favorites of all time. If you guys saw my top 30 list recently, and that is Black Iris, so Interlude Black Iris by Amouage. I love the entire I love the entire Interlude line. The original is fantastic. 53 is also a really good fragrance, but something about Black Iris just really speaks to me, and I love it. And I actually have to continue to remind people that if you ever get the chance to smell any of these, if you're ever interested in any of the Amouage fragrance line, especially Interlude or Jubilation, highly recommend getting a decant or at least a sample if you can, specifically coming in the little sample bottles from something like Fragrance Net, Max Aroma. I highly recommend you try stuff that is in that price point, because I forgot myself. It's been so long. But before I did my Black Iris review this morning, I realized, oh crap, like full price, this is a $395 fragrance. So very much recommend any fragrance, if you can help it, to get samples first. Most websites offer that, especially if they're reputable and trustworthy websites, because you don't want to spend that much money. I don't even want to spend over $100. Honestly, I'm a cheapo. I don't even want to spend over $70 on something if I don't get to know ahead of time this is going to be something I really connect to. And as well, I also want to encourage you guys, before we get to any questions or stuff, feel free to interact, feel free to ask questions, but I always want to encourage you guys as well to have the opportunity to try stuff, and to remember you do not need a very big collection. I only have all the things that I have because I do fragrance reviews. If you do not, please, anything between 2 fragrances all the way to maybe 12, somewhere around that realm, is kind of what you want to stick to. You can only express yourself technically but so many different ways before you start getting kind of confused when it comes to fragrances, and that should be what they're for, is to connect to them, but also to express yourself. So unless you just got money to throw away and you really love having large collections, I would say let's practice controlling our impulses and just get stuff that we really feel like is us. So always trying to encourage people to go for samples and things like that before we get a little too carried away. But with that being said, let's see, it is all right. I just want to make sure I'm connected to my Wi-Fi. But yes, please feel free, you guys, come through. Tell me how you guys are doing this morning, if you get the opportunity to do so. I know it's Monday, and I'm off today because I had an appointment this morning and had some stuff to do. And unfortunately, tomorrow I also have to have some stuff done with my teeth. For whatever reason, my teeth just do not like me. I brush, I floss multiple times every day. Not too hard or nothing. I'm not rubbing away the enamel, but for some reason my teeth are just like, nope. So I took this time, and while I had this time, I figured I would spend some more with you guys. But normally going forwards, these fragrance streams is going to be Eastern Standard Time, U.S., in the evening time, roughly around 5 to 7 or so p.m. But yeah, I'm here with you guys today, so please feel free to ask questions about fragrances. Tell me what you're wearing today. Tell me what some of your favorites are. Good morning, Tyler. I'm really happy to see you, buddy. It's been a little while. I'm glad I get to have you come back through. I appreciate that. And I hope that things have been beautiful for you, by the way. I missed having little conversations with you. I know because of stuff like being inconsistent with streaming schedules and stuff, it's a little different in and out to actually get the time to communicate and stuff. But I hope you're doing very well, and I'd love to catch up. But I'm glad you're rocking the Drake cologne. I still, to this moment, have not smelled it yet. So I don't even know what, honest to goodness, I don't know what it smells like. I might get it at some point to do a review. Somebody else told me that it's really good. So I know you said that in the past, and I've heard that it's a pretty decent fragrance. I just haven't, I don't even know what the notes are. I haven't looked it up. It's funny because I was just thinking about sugar, floral, and sweet. That's interesting. So I definitely would like to check that out. But I know that earlier I rewatched a review of Ariana Grande's Cloud fragrance from Aaron Terrence Hughes, like him doing the review of that and kind of hearing the notes because one of my best buddies at work, she wears it all the time, and I enjoy it. But it smells like very youthful. And every time celebrities make their own fragrance, I like when celebrities sometimes get to be the face for fragrances, necessarily speaking, but don't have a lot of like choice behind it. But when a celebrity does make a decision behind that fragrance, sometimes it's just interesting to see how it turns out. But I do like Cloud by Ariana Grande or Ariana Grande, however you say it. I have not checked out the Drake one yet. But today I'm wearing Black Iris, Interlude Black Iris by Amouage, and it's very much so one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Very loud, robust. I actually finally filmed the review for that this morning, and I can't wait to show you guys. It'll probably be a month before that one comes out. But I did, however, what's up, buddy? Sarthak, thank you for coming through. I always love getting a chance to see you and communicate. And everybody who comes in here, please. I'm not sponsored. I'm not paid to get any of these fragrances. I buy them myself. I give you my thoughts and opinions, and I appreciate you guys' thoughts and opinions as well. I'm not a professional. I do work around fragrances full time, and as well I do these reviews. I've had a lot of exposure to different types of fragrances, even beyond my own collection. It doesn't make me a professional. Everybody at the end of the day is giving subjective thoughts to a degree or another about whatever it is that they like, whatever they don't like. There's things that I'm going to love that you won't. There's things that I don't that you will. So just letting that be known before we go forward. But please feel free to ask questions. Tell me how you're doing. Communicate. I love it. I always love the opportunity to talk back and forth with you guys. But yeah, I was just thinking about the other day when I got my own fragrance made. So Sensual Obsessions, they make these extrait de parfums. You can get your own. It's like $45. So they're from Florida. And again, I'm not sponsored by them. I just love these guys. They're really nice. They actually are the only company that I've spoken to so far, or who has spoken to me and with me, that does not have a catch. They say, hey, we'll send you some stuff. Would you like to try some things? They're the only company that's actually sent me anything. Because they're like, hey, if you don't like it, not only is that okay, but it's also okay if you say that in a review. So every chance I get, I give these guys a lot of love. So Sensual Obsessions, very incredible people, fantastic at what they do. And the other thing is the price. So I made my own. You get to go on their website, and for $40 or $50, you get to pick 6 notes. You can go up $10 and pick more, but you get to pick 6 notes of your own. And I learned the hard way, very much so, that even if you love perfumery and you have a lot of exposure to fragrances, that does not mean that it's easy to choose what you want your own to smell like. Kind of brings me back to, real quick, talking about Ariana Grande's fragrance and other ones. Like sometimes they're hit or miss, but I definitely think it's easier if you was to like tell a perfumer, here's some ideas, but you do with that what you want. So definitely when you're like choosing everything yourself, it can be scary, but I do love what I ended up getting. You got the ball rolling. That's what's up. Absolutely. I really do try to do so. And I appreciate that, Tyler. So yeah, this morning, I've definitely been trying to reconfigure the format of the way that I do my reviews. In general, make them feel a little bit more homey, a little more sincere. This channel has been all over the place. Have you checked out City Rhythm? I have not, but thank you for reminding me of that. I definitely have been all over the place with this channel for a while. And just yesterday, I made the announcement during a live stream of the other stuff I was doing on this channel that I was very happy with. But I'm not going to be doing that anymore here because I'm going to really keep this back focused to the core of what this started as and start another thing down the road when I have the time to do so. But this is what I love doing with you guys here. And I want to keep it very focused so that we can keep it consistent. And I have appreciated the feedback and the discussions with you guys so very much, because it doesn't mean anything if I don't get to talk with you, if it's just me talking to myself in an echo chamber. So, but seriously, thank you guys for coming through here. And I appreciate every time you guys got suggestions and any fragrances that you're into. I'd love to hear about it. So, like I said, the other day, I did a top 30, my favorite. It was really hard to choose my top 30 favorites of all time. And some of that has kind of shifted a little bit. Like as usual, day by day, your taste and your scent profiles can kind of shift around a little for what you really are thinking about. But I do think I'm pretty happy with my ultimate decisions. If anybody doesn't know, my number one favorite fragrance is Xerjoff Naxos. It teeters in and out between that and Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. It kind of goes in and out of that. By the way, I don't say that way to be pretentious. I'm trying to pronounce things the way it's supposed to be. So nobody's ever been critical about that, but just like you guys' names when you comment, I want to be respectful and do my best so it doesn't seem confusing. But Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir, that was like shifting in and out to be my number one favorite. But ultimately, Xerjoff Naxos just takes that place in my heart. Toby, thanks for coming here, buddy. Thanks for asking questions. Any recommendations for a good cherry-focused fragrance? So I do have one in particular that I gave away as a gift recently because a friend of mine wanted to give it to his partner. But my personal favorite fragrance that features a prominent cherry note, if that's what you're looking for. I don't know too many that have like a more mid-blend. But if you're looking for something that has like a more serious cherry feel, to me, again, it's okay if anybody disagrees with this because it's subjective, but I really, really, really love Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. I know to a lot of people it's kind of basic. It's also obviously not the cheapest thing in the universe. You can get it off of certain discounters, but I love Tom Ford's Lost Cherry for a cherry fragrance. I also know that there's a cherry one by Mancera. I can't remember what it's called, but I do know I smelled it once. A friend of mine had it and he brought it to work, and I thought it was really great. But not completely my style. Something about Lost Cherry is just fantastic to me, well-rounded, decent enough performance as well, but still pretty expensive. So that's the one that I normally go for. I don't really like the other cherry ones, except I think Cherry Smoke is pretty okay. But outside of that, I don't personally know too many other ones. So I always love if you guys can help each other out. I've been looking at Le Male Le Parfum, but I already have the Elixir. Would it be redundant? Tom, thank you so much. Also, Ombre Leather might be my number one. Hey, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So Ombre Leather Parfum is also in my top 10 favorites. I love it. But with that being said, to Tom, again, thank you so much for commenting. I always appreciate you guys asking your questions. And so for me, I think they're completely perfectly great to have both. So for me personally, it's just like Le Beau Le Parfum or Paradise Garden. It isn't redundant to have them both because they are distinct in their own ways if you're into that kind of thing. But you got to be into it. So Le Male Le Parfum is definitely different than the Elixir. I like Le Male Elixir more, but the Le Parfum edition is fantastic. And for a while back in the day, it was my favorite. But yeah, it's not redundant to have them both. They're also in a decent enough price point for the performance that you get, that if you can do it and you can spend responsibly. So I'm not one of those YouTubers who's like trying to convince you to buy crap. Because again, I don't get sponsored by nobody. Nobody sends me free junk because I shoot it as straight as I can, and so do other YouTubers that I look up to. And in all sincerity, certain ones are redundant, but these in particular, if you can responsibly spend the money, it is worth it to have both. All right, I got to go have a meeting. Hey, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, Tyler, and thank you for coming through. Seriously, I send oceans of love your way. Bless you, man. French Defense is one of the best cherry ones I've smelled. Hey, thank you for bringing that up, Casey. So like I said, I just want to throw this out there. I cannot stress enough. I'm Andrew, but you guys in the comments, I love getting to know y'all. And if I ever say that there's something I don't know, I'm not sure, or I haven't tried, because on my channel, I have this rule of 3. I will tell you like my superficial thoughts if I don't have a lot of experience with a fragrance, but let's just use Capri and Love as an example. I won't give you my thoughts on a fragrance unless I have tried it on my skin, not a test strip, on my skin at least 3 different occasions to tell you performance, quality, longevity. And again, it's subjective, it's my opinions, but that's kind of how I operate. So if you guys can help out, I appreciate that so much. So Casey, thank you so very much for your suggestion to our other buddy here. I also had to check that out. I checked out some Mind Games fragrances. Weeks ago, there was a little thing going on at La Parfumerie in a mall here in North Carolina where I'm from. So it's a little niche store. They have all kinds of more luxurious stuff. And I really enjoyed getting to sample most of the Mind Games line. There was ones I really loved, ones I was kind of like me. But at the end of the day, the thing that made me happy is that for like $75, you can get the sample set that comes with a bunch of their stuff. And that's definitely what I'm going to do, because with stuff like that, I don't like them enough at this moment, at least. I really always encourage people to sample stuff before you pull the trigger and get something expensive. And they are very expensive. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to getting that. So I don't remember French Defense, like how it smells. Appreciate you. Also, if you guys can see, I'm very much a talker. very much the way just my mind works. I just talk a lot, I ramble. So if you guys do ask questions, I'm going to respond to every single one of you guys' questions because that's how I try to do it here. But it's going to be probably long-winded. So if you're okay with that, thank you guys for being here. But yeah, Toby, definitely check that out if you get the chance. I'm sorry that none of us were able to give you suggestions that were cheaper. I don't know what your price range is. Sometimes it's just not always easy if you're looking for a very specific type of thing. Sometimes in the fragrance world, there's not too many good things that are on the cheaper end. And I as well, just throwing this out there, I'm not a top 10 person normally, other than my 30 favorite fragrances stream I did the other day. I do like single fragrance at a time reviews. That's really my style. I take it very introspective and serious on each one as well. What's up, PNDS? Thank you for coming here, and good morning. I appreciate you being here. But definitely, I like to just kind of get really deep into the ones and each specific fragrance at a time. So if you guys are okay with that, thank you for being here. And I appreciate y'all. So yeah, love to hear what you guys are wearing today. Thank you so very much. And like I was saying, for me, really, really want to encourage you guys to keep getting samples if you can, to check out stuff before you really go through with buying it. But I look forward to sampling more mind games. Also, there is a fragrance I do know I do want, but it's going to be a while because it's unfortunately very expensive. But Maison Crivelli, I think I'm saying that right. I don't know, but I think I'm saying that correctly. Saffron Secret. It's like a very straightforward fragrance. It's not the most overall like crazy layered fragrance, which again, that's okay. It doesn't have to be. But I tried that one out. I know it's a newer one. And when I was there at that thing, I got the chance to smell Saffron Secret, and that one actually really spoke to me. In an impulsive way, it became like my favorite fragrance that day. Like at that moment, I was like, wow, I love this so much. As I've had time to reflect on it, obviously my real favorites have come back out. But I do look forward to getting the chance to get a bottle of that. But again, it's just the price is ridiculous. I understand it, but some of these bigger companies, their prices for the things that they have versus technically, if you do a little bit of research, the materials they put in it is just kind of always not there. But some of them are worth it. So just one more thing. Again, I'm not a top 10 channel. I say these things just in case anybody considers subscribing. I'm never just trying to push people to do that. So I'm not a top 10 channel. And also, I'm not the biggest proponent for cheapies and dupes. I will talk about them from time to time, but I'm not like the biggest fan or like that TikTok brain trying to push that stuff at you guys. So again, if that's also something that you really like with watching this kind of content, I totally get it, but that's not my style. So yeah, just anything all across the spectrum, stuff that I'm interested in, stuff that you guys suggest to me. That's the type of stuff that I review personally. I'm trying to give Monkey Special a little bit more of a chance because I don't, never try to make yourself like something. If you smell something, I do encourage people to experience as many different types of fragrances as you can so you can get more of a deeper understanding of really what fits you, what you actually connect to. But sometimes certain things you're just not in the mood for and you need to try things multiple different days. I am actually starting to really like this, but at first I was just not in the mood for it because of the way it came across to me. But this is Tomi Iommi's Special Monkey by Zerjob, and it's very caramelly, chocolatey feel with other notes going behind it. And something about the chocolate vibe was not something really speaking to me at first, and the burnt caramel feel, but it has grown on me, like it's just gotten to my brain, and I can't stop wanting to come smell it here in my collection. And I'm starting to get to the point where I think eventually I'm going to start wearing this a lot. Mason, thanks for coming through. So again, I always will do my best to answer you guys' questions. Just throwing this out there. I'm not saying that you are, but please don't spam. If you're ever disrespectful to one another or spam, you get tossed out. You get blocked from the chat because that's just how I don't do things here. I keep it nice and respectful. But just throwing it out there. I do have Baccarat Rouge. I haven't done a full throttle review for it just yet, but I've had this for a long time. We've got the Extrait de Parfum. Very expensive. To this day, people always ask me, what's the most expensive fragrance you have in your collection? To me, I still kind of stick with this because the overall price point, it's really up there. To me, I do know brands that I have that have other fragrances in their lines that is definitely more than this, but it is a very expensive fragrance, and a lot of people technically go as Nosmic to this quickly, even the Eau de Parfum, but also the Extrait. But this is the Extrait de Parfum. I don't ever wear this. I'm a proponent. I'm a person who says that anyone can wear whatever they want. So just because something leans towards masculine, feminine, whatever, I wear a lot of floral stuff. You can wear whatever you'd like to. But my wife is typically the one who wears this one because it just she likes it a little bit more. It seems to be easier for me to experience it off of her than to wear it myself, because I definitely go nose blind to this. quickly. So I do love this. It's interesting too because I've had a lot of friends say they don't quite get what I'm saying when I did not mean to get it on my fingers. I've had a lot of friends not quite get what I'm saying when I say this, but again, everything is different depending on the person. But this fragrance to me smells like extremely luxurious Hawaiian punch. I don't know why, but the saffron and the way the resinous qualities blend together, something about it's just, of course, I sprayed it just to spray it, and now the entire room is just filled with this. But it is very strong, I will say that, but it's just when you wear it on you, you can get blind to this kind of quick. And I've known people who do have this, don't know how, because again, it is a very expensive fragrance, but I've known people who do have this and put it on and they overspray because they get too used to the notes for this. And the next thing you know, you're like kind of choking people out. It's a very wonderful fragrance, but you don't want to overdo it with Baccarat Rouge. But yeah, Baccarat Rouge 540, Extrait de Parfum. It is fantastic, but it's not my favorite of the Maison Francis Kurkdjian line. At the moment, my personal favorite is Grand Soir. I know it's like a classic. Everybody knows pretty much what that is. But yeah, it's definitely not my favorite of the entire bunch, but Baccarat Rouge is pretty decent. But yeah, guys, please feel free, ask questions, whatever you might want to know, whatever you may or may not want to ask about. I've just been continuing to go through my collection, thinking about things that I would like to review in the future and add to this in general. Over here is where I keep, you can't see the rest of it, but over here is where I keep my my dupes and cheapies. But again, well, not all of them. Obviously, you see the good old-fashioned 1 million elixir here. As a matter of fact, let me put this... Excuse me. No, I guess I will keep it over here, but that is literally one of my favorites of all time. I don't give a crap what anybody says. Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Elixir is a fantastic fragrance, and I think that everybody, especially younger people, but anyone should have that in your collection and at least wear it from time to time because it is so cheaply priced, but you can get like a big bottle of it for a good price and just throw it on, and it lasts all day and comes off of you, and then it's like youthful, but at the same time has like a bit of luxury to it because of the qualities of the rose and the apple. So, Paco Rabanne 1 Million Elixir, I don't care what anybody says. I think it's fantastic, and I love it. Oh, this one, though. This one has been speaking to me as well a lot lately. Amouage Reflection. I went a while without actually putting this on because my wife started blending it. She has Black Opium, so YSL's Black Opium, the glittery bottle. It has a particular name, silver, I guess, but the Black Opium with the glitter on it. I got that for her for Valentine's Day this past year, and I love that one so much. But she blends it with this, so she'll do a little bit of a layer. I don't layer anything myself. I don't know if you guys do, and if you have any like recommendations for stuff you like to layer. I don't do that just because I guess I'm just not that adventurous. I like to just experience things as they are. But when she does it, it really is something special, and I love it so much. But yeah, definitely Amouage Reflection, just in and of itself, brings me a lot of joy. And as the sissy little girly man that I am, walking around with my little fanny pack all the time that I have, I love pink and floral things, and the color of this just brings me a lot of joy. That's got the little pink jewel, like most of their stuff has a little jewel at the top. But again, I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. I'm a fragrance YouTuber. I've done other things on this channel, stuff like religious studies and stuff that I've been doing for a very long time, for many years, but everyone's welcome here. Hi to everyone from East Los Angeles. Got to hook up on a perfume called Dark Night. Very good quality, longevity, natural ingredients. That's awesome. Thank you for coming through and letting us know. I appreciate that. I don't know if that's like a little bit of self-promotion or if you just know somebody, but that's super cool that you got that, and I hope that you get a lot out of it. I've not heard of that one. Dark as Night. Very, very good. I'll have to look that up and see what that's all about. And thank you for being here. I'm personally out here in North Carolina. Been here my entire life. It's where I'm from. I don't sound, I mean, I don't know. I go kind of ear blind to it. I don't know how country I do or don't sound right now. But I have this thing where whenever I start doing videos or live streams, my mind kind of snaps in and does this like presenter voice. So I'm giving you my real honest thoughts and opinions, but my voice kind of shifts. But if you heard me off camera, it's bad. Yo, what's your 3 favorite colognes? Very good question. So I actually I don't do top 10 videos on this channel. That's not my style. But the other day, I did do a live stream where I went through starting from the least all the way to number 1 of my favorite fragrances. I did a top 30 because I was like, if I'm going to do this, I might as well really do it. But thank you for asking, Jaden. So my number 1, I guess I'll start with least. So my 3rd favorite is Unicorn by Aaron Terrence Hughes. I recently finally got a couple of bottles of his work. a few weeks ago, and I had so much inspiration getting to smell the things that he does. He was the guy who like literally inspired me to start doing this. So he's a professional perfumer. I'm not. But when I got into like, I've loved perfumery since I was very small. But as an adult, 2 years ago, I started to rebuild a collection, and just a little bit by little. But I absolutely, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm a rambler. I really explain things. So if that's not okay with you, I totally get that. You guys, I'm never asking people to subscribe. But if you're okay with that, I talk a lot, and I love answering you guys' questions like in detail. That's just how I am. So thank you to anybody who's okay with that. But to Jaden, I've always wanted to smell this man's stuff because I myself, I wanted to do reviews from more of like a working man situation where we got to spend our hard-earned money on stuff. And there's way too many bullcrap channels, no offense to a single individual, but people got to get that dollar bill. But there's way too many channels out there that I noticed when I started doing research on TikTok and then here on YouTube who are just pushing dupes and sponsored crap at you, and that's bullcrap. Straight up, if you're doing that kind of stuff, as a matter of fact, I will be disrespectful right now. If you're doing that kind of stuff, I don't like you. I don't respect you because you are increasing people's addictions, dopamine hits, and you are, in fact, just a little rant real fast. Anybody who's out there doing that kind of stuff, you are coming at people's impulse. So you are pushing people to want to buy junk and waste their money on things they don't need because somebody's paying you to do that. So again, I appreciate wanting to get that money, but I don't like you guys who do that stuff. So never, and you're probably not going to see this because nobody cares, but just throwing this out there very publicly, don't ever come at me for a collab if you push crap on people because you're paid to do it. And also companies, if you ever see this, if you want to pay anyone to tell things that are good, I'm not going to do that for you. Just throwing it out there. Sorry, everybody. I just wanted to say that real quick. I do like some dupes and cheapies. I have a whole thing over here of ones that I've tried out. There's ones I do like. There's ones I don't. But I just am very much straight on the fact that a lot of them aren't that great. There is a lot of them that aren't that great. We tell ourselves that they are because they're cheaper and we want to save some money. But seriously, don't try to have the biggest impulsive collection you can. Just get ones that you actually like. Sample stuff. Try things out. Figure out the type of things that are your different personalities and stuff you like to express. But please, don't just go wasting money on crap. To finish up real quick, though, Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn. I know I went on a rant. I'm sorry. That's my number 3 favorite. I absolutely love it. It's just the most perfect blend of oud that I've ever experienced with frankincense and cinnamon notes, saffron, raspberry. I love it. My second favorite, Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Elixir. And then my number 1 favorite back here is Xerjoff's Naxos, my number 1 favorite of all time. I do not have any Orto Parisi fragrances. I would like to try some, but I don't have any at this moment. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's going to be wobbly. I'm just making sure I'm keeping up with the chat. Again, I'm sorry I go on these little rants. It's just, I can't help it. I really, really love perfumery. I also really love not wasting money if necessary. And I don't like the idea of pushing crap on people. That salesman mentality makes me upset. So with that being said, I'm kind of looking for a freshie that lasts. And it's kind of strong. Do you have any suggestions? And thank you, Casey. That means the world to me. The fact that you care about what I'm doing means the world to me, because if you didn't, none of what I'm doing would matter. Like even just one of you guys enjoying this brings me immense amounts of joy, and I mean that. Again, by the way, if anybody's new here, I'm Andrew. I love to get to know you guys. A strong freshie kind of depends, because in a strange way, I've heard people say that Naxos is like a freshie because even though it's honey and tobacco, it as well has lemon and certain other bright citrus qualities going with it. That's what makes it so unique. In a way, I guess I would say Naxos, technically, because it is an all-day laster. But in a way, I don't think of it too much as a freshie, but I guess it kind of is. I personally think of like Bleu de Chanel as a freshie in my mind because of its blue qualities, although it has a rich sandalwood feel to it. But the Parfum edition is my personal favorite. So I kind of steer people in that direction. So maybe Bleu de Chanel. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense is actually a pretty good one, at least for me personally. I know everybody's kind of hit or miss on that one, but I really love that one, and it does well for me. So kind of somewhere around that realm. I would say, either Renaissance or Naxos by Xerjoff. I would say definitely Light Blue Dolce & Gabbana Eau Intense, the intense version, and Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Something like that to me is where I'm going to send you. But that's just my opinion. Everybody help each other out. Question, do you pick out your outfit first, then cologne, or pick the... So, to be completely honest with you, I actually really don't care about my outfits. I love fashion by looking at fashion, but honestly, I just buy a bunch of plain shirts from like Hollister or somewhere like that. I used to wear exclusively Walmart clothes, not trying to be funny. But I love looking at fashion, and I've been watching fashion shows and stuff ever since I was young. Me and my wife watch that kind of stuff a lot together too, and I love watching like model shows and things like that. It's really fun for me. I like stuff in that industry, but I don't care too much about the way I dress, I guess. I probably should care a little bit more about it, because sometimes I feel like when I do these streams, I don't look very stylish. But seriously, like hats, because my hair is often really uncontrollable, and then just plain shirts that are, I like the little bit of oversized feel, whether I've gained weight like we did this past year, or I'm slimmer, regardless. And then I just wear, like, mostly just like I said, Hollister clothes and junk like that. I don't really plan my outfits very much, but I do know there are people that I've seen and heard who like to do the whole pick out your clothes for the day and then kind of smell based off of whatever it is you're wearing. I respect that. I appreciate that, as well as like different occasions. I think that's pretty cool. But how about you? And so do you go by, is it just Tino, or do you go by, I don't want to pronounce anybody's name incorrectly and like be disrespectful. So if I ever try to say your name and I say it wrong, I'm really sorry. But is it just Tino or Tino Murario? Sorry, I hope I'm not saying that wrong. But definitely thank you for being here, and I'd love to know what you do personally. Sam, any recommendations for an oud dominant scent that doesn't lean Middle Eastern? 100%. So literally, I was just talking about this. I filmed the review for it this morning, so spoiler alerts, but spoiler alerts. I'm going to go ahead and tell you about it now, though. But Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn. So it's a bit of an expensive one because he's a smaller house, necessarily speaking, and uses certain good quality materials. But definitely, I've fallen in love with this. This is my third favorite fragrance in the entire world. I almost never really love oud in things because of the way that it's done. Silver Oud by Amouage is pretty decent, a little bit more smooth, but still a little bit too animalic for most people. This one, though, has been so blended well. It's the only one I've ever smelled that is blended just right where you actually get the oud qualities and it still comes off relaxed. So, just throwing this out there. This is my favorite one, and I'm wearing it on this hand right now, and I really just love it. I know that also I'm wearing, my actual fragrance for today is Black Iris Interlude by Amouage, and it has oud qualities underneath it with the leather notes, but it's very, very low on the scale. But that does count. But if you want oud forward, definitely Unicorn. I think it's $85 or $90 on Max Aroma if you're in the U.S. for a 10 mil. Not the biggest bottle in the world, but it's extremely powerful, and you only need a few sprays. So that's kind of where I'm sending people at this point, if you want dominant but not too Middle Eastern. Good morning, Deanna. Thank you so much for being here. Noble Dreamer. Thank you so much, Noble Dreamer. I appreciate that. I often am just like, yeah, I'm 32. I'm a dad of of a teenager and an almost teenager at this point. I started very young. I don't recommend it to everyone. But I love my life. I love my kids. But I've hit that point in life where it's just so funny because I was gaining a little bit of weight that I'm working on losing again. I know how to. I lost 115 pounds before, but because of this process of like having had to do, me and my wife have had to like take care of so many things this past year, and a lot of transitions we had to do with like moving and so much more, selling our house and all this other crap. During that gaining weight process and everything, I just hit this stride where I'm like, I don't really care too much about what I'm wearing at this point. Like, I just put my clothes on that are comfortable. Another thing is I don't really do anything about it other than I just recently got a prescription. By the way, just throwing this out there, I know a lot of people don't care about this, but I'm very personable on this channel. I want you to get to know me, my personality. If you're going to stick around, I want to get to know you guys. So, just throwing that out there, but I have really bad dermatitis problems, and it started to spread. You can't see it right now, I don't think, but on my face, my cheeks and everything peel really bad, my scalp and everything, and I'll get these bad red splotches. I got some stuff for that I'm going to start using from my dermatologist, but I've just hit this point where I don't really care anymore about certain things, or at least I think I don't. So I just kind of ignore stuff, so I don't style up that much. So I appreciate it when you guys think that I look cool. So I just feel like a dad at this point. But morning, coffee and cookies. What's up, Brandon? Super happy to have you here, my friend. I always appreciate when you get a chance to stop through. Just throwing this out there. If anybody wants to support the channel, please, because I am going to be continuously taking this more and more serious and trying to make it better quality for you guys. And just, I've been so reinvigorated recently with a lot of the perfumery that I've encountered. I'm really seriously inspired. And I also got some questions for you guys that I'm going to need your thoughts on and answers for. But with that being said, because I'm trying to keep a consensus for this so I can really think about it. But with that being said, by the way, my thoughts on Game of Spades. I do not know about Game of Spades Full House. I have not smelled it. And I don't know if I've smelled that one. I have a friend who's got a couple of Game of Spades fragrances, but I don't remember Full House, and so I can't really tell you. I'm sorry, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Are your teens into colognes? Not really. Like not into it like I guess I am. So my son enjoys them. He likes to wear what he likes. Like I give him little gifts and stuff, but he doesn't like anything too strong. He likes more relaxed things. Although I will say Dior Sauvage Parfum, he really enjoyed that. So my daughter, she likes more masculine leaning smells as well. And so the other day, the one she went the craziest about, ironically, is the one I'm still kind of starting to develop into enjoying, and that was Special Monkey by Xerjoff. My daughter, like, out of everything she checked out, she went crazy for that one. She loves Special Monkey for sure. Which again, like, it doesn't matter if something's masculine or feminine. Anybody can wear whatever they want. If you have skin issues, make sure you have a shower filter, and that will help. Did water treatment before. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that so very much. So for me, definitely, I've had eczema since I was young, but it's really increased in veracity, as well as I recently found out that I've got some type of I can't remember what it's called. It's like a really fancy, almost like ectoplasm, crazy sounding name. Like I got ghost goo on me. That sounded horrible. I'm sorry, but it is a family friendly show, I promise. But I got this yeast thing on my face or whatever, some type of development of this stuff. I can't remember what it's called. She said a very fancy name. I almost thought she was messing with me, but it's true. And so that's kind of the issue going on here. So trying to figure out as you get older, when your body starts doing weird stuff, how to work around that. It's not always the easiest thing in the world. But I just want to throw this out there, you guys. I truly thank you for taking the time to be here. And I say that a lot. But I mean that because sometimes I almost feel like mildly emotional. You may, in fact, one day see me cry during these streams. I'm just a very sensitive fella, as you can probably tell. But I appreciate you guys so very much. Every single one of you comes in and asks questions and talks with me because the idea to me, I always loved making videos. I used to do like a lot of edited stuff, and I loved making, like me and my wife used to do, just because I love the paranormal as well. We used to do paranormal investigations and stuff on our old channel. Our little family trips and stuff. We keep everything. I used to do comedy skits, whatever. And that was like my thing for a very long time, my early introduction to doing videos and groups. But as time has went on, and I just started doing this kind of thing because this is like one of my absolute biggest passions. I didn't know I could even do this. Streaming and talking with you guys and interacting this way. Yeah, I wish I could hear y'all's voices. I wish it was like an open thing, kind of like Omegle, although we all know what happens there. But I wish it was like a thing where we could just communicate with each other, like a big group phone call. People drop in. I'm glad we can't, because then we'd have a lot of inappropriate stuff coming through. But it's just cool that I get to talk with you guys. So seriously, thank y'all for coming through here. It means the world to me. My 12-year-old loves perfumes now because of me. Into aquatic freshies. That's one thing I've noticed. Depending on the person, a lot of younger people really like very sweet things and then aquatic freshie type things. Excuse me. So, but like I said, my daughter, she's had a good exposure to certain things for me, like on niche or quality stuff. So she really like just goes over and enjoys a lot of the Xerjoffs, which makes me happy because that's cool. Like I said, my son, he likes the classic masculine smells, stuff along those lines just really bring him joy. So Armani Code Parfum, he loves that. Eros, and like I said, Sauvage Parfum, he's into that kind of thing. I'm so sorry I missed out. I want to keep up with you guys. Get a shower filter. Thank you, Brandon. Sorry if it's wobbly, by the way. I got my little tripod thingy now. I just got absolutely, really, yes, it is. Absolutely is my fourth technically favorite of the line, the Stronger With You line. So the first one's Parfum, then Sandalwood, then Intensely, and then Absolutely. But they're all incredible optimists. Unicorn by Aaron Terrence Hughes or Unicorn Elixir. Do not get Elixir. Like, if you can afford it, do it. But 100% Unicorn, the original. Just get Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn. If you want a oud-forward fragrance, but it's not like super Middle Eastern or nothing, just beautiful. Most of what you're getting is like that, the wonderful qualities of oud, but frankincense with cinnamon quality, but not like in a desserty way. And the raspberry and the saffron, it's like an incredible, incredible thing. So Visualante Scents. Hopefully I said your name properly. Dude, thank you so very much. Thank you. I appreciate you for saying that, for taking the time to subscribe. I can't see right now. I don't know. I'm assuming because you got scents in your name that you do fragrance stuff as well. So if so, I definitely want to see your stuff, and I appreciate you. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't sit around, other than Aaron Terrence Hughes and people like him, I don't sit around just watching a bunch of fragrance content myself. I like watching a bunch of history stuff or all kinds of other stuff that I can learn from. But I really appreciate other channels trying to do your thing as well, as we're all trying to do our thing here. And for you taking the time to subscribe to me, thank you, seriously. I appreciate that. I know I can get all over the place. I know I can get tongue twisted because I talk a little bit too fast. I know as well for people who English is not your first language, it can be a bit of a struggle. But I always want you guys to be honest with me. As long as you're being respectful to each other, I appreciate y'all. Put a Zoom link in your profile. That'd be cool. That'd be fun to do that. Like have like a group hangout type deal. That'd be really neat. So thank you for that suggestion, Jaden. That's really neat. Let me know if you have a fragrance for back support. Oh man, I wish I did. Oh golly, or email link under stream that where people can say hi. That's really cool. I like the idea of that. Right now, the only thing I normally do, I don't post anything hardly on there, but I know as a creator, you're supposed to have an Instagram, so I do got one, but I just don't use it really much because I try my best not to screw around on your phone very much. Because we all have very bad addictive personalities these days due to all the overstimulation and stuff. I try not to be on my phone too much, but and keeping up with those daily little videos and stuff is just like sometimes not easy. I like to just do this when I can. So when I have the opportunity to do these little streams, I do them and then I film my actual reviews. Oh yeah, I completely brain farted earlier. Just want to throw this out there. I posted a review this morning. If you guys want to support the channel. I'm never going to ask you to send me money, and I'm never going to ask you any of that crap. If you do, I appreciate it, but I'm never going to ask for that. The one thing I ask is if you actually like what I do, if you want us to show some support, please go watch my actual review videos and the other stuff I've done. For a while, I was incorporating my passion for religious studies here on this channel, and what have you. I've been doing it for a very long time, but I did make the decision, as I announced in the final one that I did the other day, I'm not going to be doing it anymore on this channel. Sorry if it lets anybody down, but I decided I'm going to start another channel to do that separately because I really want to actually be serious and focus on this going forwards and take this back to what it was. So that does lead me to a question I got coming up. Please feel free to continue telling me your favorite fragrances, all that good stuff. But yes, I have a question for you guys who are hanging out right now. So my name is Andrew Douglas Moon is the name of the channel and the community I'm trying to build here. But with that being said, this channel started off and what's on my silver play button as Douglas Moon Fragrance. So it was very straightforward. When I started doing other types of streams and kind of branching off from just fragrance stuff on here because I want to do whatever I wanted, I decided to switch it, take fragrance out. And I had a little vote for like what I was going to pick. And I said, okay, I'm going to do Andrew Douglas Moon. Now I know I've already asked this question before, but I just want to ask again, kind of get a little bit of consensus going on here so I can I'm trying to get a couple of various opinions. Do you guys think I should keep it Andrew Douglas Moon, or do you think I should go back since it's going to go this channel more back towards fragrance stuff? Do you like Douglas Moon Fragrance? So a lot of people didn't like that I changed it in the first place. And again, that is what's on my silver play button. But as well, a lot of people have also enjoyed Andrew Douglas Moon. Andrew Douglas is my real first and middle name. So just out of curiosity. I know it doesn't have anything to do directly with like the fragrance stuff right now, but I'd like to know you guys' thoughts. Overall, just some different opinions. Maybe I'll post another poll type of thing. But what do you guys think about going back to Douglas Moon Fragrance or keeping it Andrew Douglas Moon? Either way, I can go and be just as happy. But I would kind of like to get a feel for like how do I want to really brand this going forwards? Because you do got to think about that kind of junk. I hate being a salesperson, but it has to be something that can crosses your mind. But yeah, seriously, I do. I thank you guys so very much for taking the time to be here this morning. And again, continue to tell me what you guys are wearing, what's your favorite stuff. But to my buddy earlier, talking again about the unicorn, it is truly a good, the hotter you get, the more you sweat. It really comes off of you in a radiant fashion. It sticks to you like super glue, which you probably could expect from Aaron Terrence Hughes. But it is so beautiful. By the way, I know I'm always sticking my nose in my hand. That's just how I smell stuff. I just love it so much because the way he did it. So again, bergamot at the top, and then you've got saffron and raspberry, and you have like the oud qualities with the cinnamon, CO2, the frankincense, myrrh, and a handful of other things. And it's just incensey, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It doesn't smell hippie. That's another thing. I just want to throw this out there. I'm not the craziest hippie person. Like I don't like hippie smells too much. I know you guys probably know what I mean when I say that. But this was just blended excellently, and it's perfect if you're looking for that kind of thing. I'm considering buying Coral Fantasy for next fall. What do you think or recommend? So I will say Coral Fantasy is my favorite, technically, of all the Valentino line. It was the first Valentino I ever smelled, and I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But I do have to say that overall, I don't see. This is just me giving you my thoughts. I don't think of it too much as a fall fragrance, but I guess it's because of the tobacco notes. It does fit, but I always think of it as almost like a springtime or summer fragrance because it just has this vibrancy and sweetness to it with the apple. But yeah, I'm sorry. You can wear it all year long. I think it's a good price point. It's an eau de toilette, but it actually has decent performance for what it's worth. So just throwing it out there. I think it is a really good choice. I don't own it. My friend does. I did a review for it in the past, but I just don't have it. But it is really good. If you put the moon on there for family content and then reviews and keep it as it is, otherwise take it off as it sounds more professional. If you put the moon on for family content and want to include more family content and reviews, keep it as is. So I'm not getting rid of Moon. Moon is going to stay. Andrew Douglas Moon or Douglas Moon fragrance. Moon's going to stay in the name regardless. And there's a reason for that. There's just more of a personal thing. But yeah, so definitely either Andrew Douglas Moon or Douglas Moon fragrance. That's really kind of the up and down of what I'm not sure about. But it is going to stay family-friendly stuff here and not always just fragrance stuff. But it's going to get back to being more fragrance intended. So I felt like the reason I took it off before is not to confuse people as much. So if that makes any sense. Because when I started doing religious studies and stuff on here, I just didn't want people to be like, what are you doing that for? And it says fragrance. Also, I'm expecting to deliver Givenchy Gentleman. Fantastic choice, my friend. I haven't smelled that in a while, but I know that is a beautiful fragrance. Nautica Voyage Cologne. That's very good. That is a good everyday thing that you can keep with you and just keep reapplying if you need to. It sounds more catchy than more marketing. I've been trying to get Voyage, but it's out of stock in Australia. Oh, shoot. You're in Australia? That's awesome. Thanks for being here, Jaden. I really appreciate you even having the time to do this. I don't know what time it is there. And Brandon, thank you for your thoughts. It really means a lot to me because that's what I felt. And I think about that a lot. It's just difficult because when you're trying to really think as you continue to make videos, get to know people, how do you want to introduce yourself and how do you want people to identify you? It can be difficult sometimes. Sticking to something straight out and straightforward and feeling comfortable. It's literally midnight. Oh, snap. So you're getting close to bedtime. Well, I'm not going to be doing this stream a whole heck of a lot longer. That's my online fragrance I wear. Oh, I get that. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So it's literally midnight. That's wild. I'm super happy you guys are even taking the time to be here with me then. Because I know you guys are probably tired, to be honest with you. I never know where people are coming from because I got people coming through from India and other places. I don't think I've ever had anybody from China or Japan or anywhere like that. But it's really cool when people get the chance to come through from different places. I was about to sleep, but I thought I'd check out a small streamer. I got to school in the morning. Heck yeah, appreciate that. Well, thank you for being here. What's your best panty dropper fragrances? Well, just throwing this out there, I can only really base it up. Brandon from North Carolina, that's awesome, buddy. Maybe we'll get to meet sometime and hang out. But my best one, so I'd have to really ask my wife, although I don't really want to because at the same time, I don't want to like put her in that position on camera or nothing, that you have to say something like that because we're very family friendly. But if I had to guess, Rio, I had to throw this out there. I know that a lot of people are really, really into, again, Lamal Elixir, my favorite, Naxos by Xerjoff, but as well, this is just my personal opinion, but like Leighton and Herod or Carlisle by Parfum de Marly, Stronger With You Parfum as well, but I think I'm going to go with Herod. Herod by Parfums de Marly probably is what I'm going to go with, Rio. That's probably what I'll stick with because it's got that really rich, mysterious darkness to it, but it's also really approachable and beautiful for everybody. But yes, with that being said, I have had the routine in the past of doing like, what in the world? Sorry, you guys. I've had the routine in the past of doing like 2-hour streams, and to be completely straight with you, some evenings I will be doing that. But this morning, I'm just going to do probably about another 15 minutes. So please feel free to continue asking questions. But please also definitely go watch the review that I did this morning. I posted it this morning. If you're willing to, do some support for the channel, I did a full in-depth review of Capri in Love by Dolce & Gabbana. Date night fragrance recommendation for 17-year-old male, I'm guessing. But if so, Pratham, thank you for being here, my friend. So I would say good date night fragrance. Definitely going to be La Mal, Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier, La Mal Elixir, Jean Paul Gaultier, something like that. Mike is fuzzy. just a heads up. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off because it does that. It goes in and out sometimes and really. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for letting me know about that. It's not going to sound extremely great, but yeah, it is what it is. So the Mal Elixir and the Mal Le Parfum, the black bottle, those are absolutely perfect for date night, as well as something like Altair by Parfums de Marly Layton. Very, very good date night fragrance for me personally. I just think so. And then Versace Eros Parfum, also very great. But thank you, Brandon, for letting me know. What fragrance are you looking forward to using the next fall season? That's a good question. So I'm going to say I'm really looking forward to wearing more of this interlude, the original and Black Iris. Something I'm really looking forward to wearing more of. Naxos, again, is my favorite fragrance, but I like wearing it at different times of the year, different seasons. And Opera, which is my wife's personal, like one of her favorite fragrances, but for me, it pulls me towards more fall. I think that Side Effect by Initio, really looking forward to doing that, would be really good for me. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty decent. I don't want to holler or nothing, but like I said, I'm only going to be doing this for about 10 more minutes or so anyway. Uh, so so go me with volume control. Yeah, that's awesome. But hopefully you guys can hear me. Like I said, it's just sometimes my microphone goes fuzzy. Azara Most Wanted or Strong? Oh, Stronger with You for sure. Content Terminator. That's just me personally, but I'm going to go down that line. Stronger with You is definitely going to be my personal favorite between those two. So, but with that being said, Cool Kids choose Lamel Elixir. I mean, it is fantastic. Lamel Elixir is like absolutely a perfect performer, a perfect smell, great for anybody. It lasts all day, and the price point that you pay. But Le Parfum is also really fantastic too if you're looking for something in that direction. But if you want something a little bit different though, because not as many people are cycling through it at this time, Versace Eros Parfum, not the EDT, not the Eau de Parfum. Get the Parfum. The Eau de Parfum is great, but get the Parfum edition. It's really going to take you there. Or my buddy here bringing up the Stronger With You, you can get Imperial Armani Stronger With You Parfum or the Intensely Absolutely. Either one of those, I would recommend everybody always go smell stuff at a store if you can, buy samples if you can before you just throw your money out there. But highly, highly recommend any one of those are fantastic. So thank you guys so very much, by the way, for coming through here. Like I said, please, if you're willing to support the channel, I say this a lot because it just helps a lot, but please feel free to go check out my review that I posted this morning. Hit the like button, comment on there, just give your support. That really helps a long way for my stuff to keep boosting because while I love doing these live streams with you guys, it helps the channel even more when you guys actually watch the reviews that I do, leave your thoughts, give them a share, stuff like that. So I appreciate it every time that when you guys come through here and joins up. You should do one stream that is about fragrances that are good for those of us with sensitive skin. That's actually a really good concept. I haven't thought about doing that before. I should have, as somebody, again, like you said, with sensitive skin problems, but I haven't thought about doing a lot of research in that because I'm going to be completely real here. Allergens are very important. They are on most fragrances. So if you read most fragrance boxes, at least when you buy one, they are going to have allergens to let you know kind of what you're dealing with. But I don't read them. I should, but I don't. And also, I highly recommend all of you guys go get an allergy test. So that way it can seriously, seriously help you live to serve me. Yeah. I'll sample that line first. I'm starting to get into winter fragrances compared to like typical blue. So what do you normally wear? What's your absolute favorites? But yes, absolutely, my friend. I shall serve you. But yeah, I definitely think that'd be a good idea to do something that are more like what's good for you and your skin, all that stuff. But so winter fragrances though for sure. I'm looking forward to start gear shifting back to that. Kind of like for instance, I actually like Sauvage Elixir, but I never wear it because it's just so like Sauvage Elixir brings me a lot of joy, but I don't wear it because it's fall and summer, or spring and summertime, and it's just so strong in your face and sticks to you all day. Hypertension and yeah, oh boy, yeah. Nothing like good old fashioned hypertension, my friends. Thankfully, I don't deal with that, but I totally know people who do, and I get it. But I just want to throw this out there for the end of the stream because I'm going to cap it at an hour. Thank you all so much for taking the time to come through, to spend time with me, to hang out. appreciate you so very much. Please feel free to continue commenting, but I do want to let you guys know towards the end of every stream, this isn't like a push of like any particular belief system necessarily speaking or nothing. It's just how I do things. But I always end my streams with a little bit of a prayer for everybody, just because I personally believe in God. Um, Again, not like pushing any particular belief system or anybody necessarily speaking, just welcome everybody in here. So I like to pray for everybody before we go. Just to say, goodbye. You don't have to bow your head or nothing like that if you don't want to. But while I do it, you're free to keep asking questions, free to keep commenting and stuff like that. It's just how I do things. That's something I'm not going to stop doing on the channel, even though I take all my religious studies and stuff like that to a new channel soon. So, but go ahead and do that real fast, and then we'll get back to it. But dear God, thank you for this awesome day that I got to have with everybody. I appreciate first and foremost the creativity that you've given us all the ability to have and blessed us with, and this beautiful, like inspiring and never-ending world and universe that you've put us in, that we get to be inspired from all different sorts of aspects of nature and all your creation. I thank you for all these different people, their experiences, whatever they're going through, whoever they are. I don't know what their life is like, but I just hope that they know that they are loved. I lift them all up to you, and I just pray for like your blessing in their life, and that they just come to know that they have meaning and value, regardless of whatever they're going through, whatever they feel. I just pray for them all. And I send oceans of love to you, and I know you love them all, and I love me back. So I love you, God, with all my heart. Thank you so much in your name. Amen. So thank you guys so much for coming through here. Could have a community think tank stream to help you jot down episode ideas. I think that'd be great. Yeah. My name is Matthew. What is your favorite section in the Bible? Huh. Honestly, I really love Romans. And then I would say for the Samuel and Kings was really fun going through, and then Exodus, stuff like that's really fun for me to read. I like that. May help. I think that would really help. So when I do these streams, a lot of times it's just about hanging out with everybody and just talking, just kind of freestyling it here, because I know different people come through all the time, new questions. Really, the videos, the reviews and stuff is definitely where I kind of let everything shine out of different concepts, planned out concepts. But for the most part, you're absolutely right, though. That could help a lot, having overall different types of stuff as well. I got to get more women's fragrances, because my wife, you guys can't see it, but behind me here is where her stuff is, and she doesn't have an entire amount. She's not like the most obsessive like I am about this stuff, but she does have ones I still got to, like, I want her to do it with me. That's kind of the plan, is like to get her on here to do reviews and stuff with me. She's not, she gets nervous doing like a stream like this, but she doesn't get nervous just hanging out and doing like an actual review. So this is one that I really can't wait to hear her thoughts about, and it is the Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. It came out this past year. We both, me and her both, absolutely love this. She went Cocoa Puffs for this, so I can't wait to like let her get to talk about it a little bit more. And I'm trying to get her to do more streams with me, but she just gets shy, like talking to you guys in real time. But seriously, thank you guys so much for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Also, Content Terminator, I'd love to know yours as well. Or excuse me, Matthew, I'd love to know some of yours as well. Your favorite books or favorite sections. But yeah, I appreciate the fact that you guys took the time to stop through here today. Thank you so very much. And as well, the other day when I got to talk about my personal favorite fragrances of all time, and that stuff is going to, shift around as time goes on. I'm only here for the coffee and chats. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I want to try Light Blue Forever on your top shelf. So I actually don't have that one. The one that I've got right here, I've got Light Blue Capri and Love. I've got Light Blue O Intense, and then the original Light Blue. So I saw that when the Light Blue Forever, and I know that's also one of the ones that Aaron Terrence Hughes recently did a review for in the past couple of months. But I haven't smelled it yet. There's another Light Blue, or at least not Light Blue. There's another Dolce & Gabbana that has Middle Eastern writing on it. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But I also want to get a chance to smell that one as well. I just don't know what it is, and sometimes it's hard to get stuff here. That's like there's a Versace Eros that was Najim, I think it is, that's from out in like Dubai or whatever, and just every now and then it's a little hard to get your hands on certain things, depending on where you're able to order them from. But are the ones you're doing more open air use or indoor application? If by that do you mean like you put them on? Can you put them on outside? I get you can put any of them on outside, but for me personally, the ones that I use are like put them on indoors, and then kind of give or take depending on the scent profiles, what their overall intention was. A lot of the ones like so it's like initio side effects, stuff like that, very dense, meant to be worn during cold weather and stuff like that. But as well, there are a lot of other ones that are good for just springtime feel, so like Eros Energy, all that kind of jazz. But I don't exactly know what you meant by that particular question, but I think I kind of get it. But yeah, seriously, Brandon, to Matthew, every single other person who's come through here today, I am about to be signing off now officially, but I appreciate y'all for taking the time to come in. I look forward to hanging out with you guys as much as possible. Tomorrow, I am going to be able, earlier in the day like this, well, it's early in the day for me. Tomorrow, I am going to be able to do this one more time because I got some teeth stuff that I got to do. Literally, if you're indoor or outdoor wearing. Okay, yeah, well, in that case, so for the most part, I would say pretty much everything that I have is best done indoors because outdoors it just depends on how the breeze is catching you with what's called sillage, so it really kind of depends. But yeah, I'll say most of them are good aromatics for the indoor usage, especially the dense ones. But like what I'm wearing today, for instance, Black Iris has fantastic projection and sillage, so you're kind of going to get a lot of people catching it off of you as you would be walking down the street. But yes, tomorrow got some teeth stuff to do again. After that, I'm going to do this one more time earlier in the day, and then I'm going to have to start doing it only in the evenings, except on the weekends. So that's kind of how it's going to be. Always great to see you. It's refreshing. Bite of salad. Thank you so very much, my friend. I appreciate that with all my heart, and I hope to see you again very soon when you guys come back around the next time. So again, tomorrow morning, if you guys get the chance, or whatever time it is for you right now, this same time tomorrow is when I'm going to be able. No, excuse me, that's not true because my appointment's during this time, a little bit later in the morning. But after that, then I'm going to be getting back to this. So I'll see you guys later. I appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.